Yo, hi everyone. It's been 23 hours since my last life, probably less or more. But anyway, it's Christmas Eve, everybody. Merry Christmas to everybody who is a Christian celebrating. Merry Christmas to the Muslims as well who are celebrating with the Christians because I celebrate with you guys. So don't even give me that I'm not a Christian statement that you guys always make when you don't want to include yourself. But anyway, I kind of saw this clip on TikTok. I've actually not watched it yet, but we're gonna be reacting to this guy who got divorced at 22 years old. At first, I kind of think it was too young to have gotten married at 22. But who knows? If you feel like you're ready, it's a personal decision, of course. If you feel like you're good enough to be a husband, do your thing. But so let's just not waste time and just watch it before I say everything I wanted to say about Christmas and all that. But let's enjoy this brother and see what he has to say.
Okay, ladies and gentle people, this is how I became divorced at 22 years old. This is going to be very simplified. I would rather undershare than overshare. I have reached out to members, friends and family members, both myself and my ex-wife, to find the best way to do this. And we all pretty much came to the same conclusion of do not share more than is needed. But if at some point I feel the need to elaborate, I might do that. There might be longer versions of this with breakdowns and parts. But let's get into it. Okay, so I got married May 17th of this year. And shortly before that, my wife, or ex-wife, started a new job. And that's important to know. So we end up moving into our apartment together in mid-July. I believe it was July 16th. Between the married, when we got married and that time, we were living with my parents. So we move in about 2 weeks after that. My wife has just a breakdown, comes in my office, has a breakdown about, I feel like we might have rushed into this, we did things too soon, blah, 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 blah. And it wasn't like we need to split, it was just I'm freaking out. So, okay, let's talk through it. And about a week later, she apologizes, says, hey, I think I was just having kind of a mental breakdown. I'm like, hey, that's fine. I get it. It's scary times. I had a freak out. I think it was like the third night that we were staying in the apartment, just about like, missing my family. So some time goes on, and now we're in August, and there's another freak out. And I feel like we rushed into this, blah, blah, blah. Well, we meet with our premarital counselor. Well, our counselors, I guess, but they did our premarital counseling. We talked through it. They're like, hey, this is super common. We see this in young married couples all the time. Let's set some expectations for one another just so you guys can help each other out. And we did. And I think in my head things are going great. Okay, so Monday, September 15th rolls around, and I leave work a little early. She tells me that she wants me to come home so we can talk. And so we go home, or I go home, and I get there, and she's like, hey, like, I'm not ready to talk just yet. Go play the game. So I'm like, okay, I play the game for an hour. Go back in. Hey, I'm not ready to talk just yet. Go play the game. Okay, go back in for an hour. Whatever. So basically she tells me, like, hey, I don't know, I don't want to talk about this. I think that it's just not worth talking about. And me being an anxious person, I'm like, well, is it something small, or is it something like you want to move out? And she's just kind of like, I don't really know. I don't know. I feel like, there's just so many things.
Like this is very funny because it's all happening 2 months after they just got married. Like I feel like it's too fast for things like that to be happening. If there were no problems before, prior to the time they got married, if or, like it's almost screaming like they had problems before they got married. But like we'll see.
Happen so quick, and I don't know. Well, either way, we talked through things a little bit. I think she can tell that I'm upset. She could tell that I was upset, so she just kind of dialed back. Maybe I don't know. I don't know where her mind space is or head space is in any of this. Well, the following Saturday rolls around. Everything's all hunky dory for me. I go out with my buddy. We put out some bags of corn and stuff, and then I get home. She's like, "Hey, when are you gonna be home?" I tell her, and she's like, "Okay, great. Like I'm gonna take a shower and I'll see you when you get home." Well, I get home. She got her bags packed. Hey, I'm gonna stay with my mom. I need some space away. I might be back Wednesday. I don't know. Can we talk? Nope. Gone. Out the door. Gone. Poof. Gone. Uh, no contact that Sunday, that Monday. Then Tuesday night, I finally call her. Now, mind you, in between this, I'm over at my best friend's house. Like, I don't know what's going on. I'm freaking out. And I say no contact. There were a couple texts sent. Well, she also goes over there and is with him and his girlfriend and just talking to them. And it's, they're trying to figure out what's going on. And they're asking her the questions. Hey, is there anything going on? It might be causing this. Is there anything, She's like, no, nothing. Well, so Tuesday night, I call her. And this is now, let me get the date. Yeah, so Tuesday, the 23rd of September, I call her, and things seem well. And I'm like, hey, do you want to go out tomorrow? She's like, yeah. So her and I go out. We have a great dinner, and she tells me, like, look, I've decided I'm not going to give up. I'm not going to run away. Like, we're going to work on this together. I can't leave you. I don't want to leave you. I'm not going to leave you. Awesome. But you need to do this and this and this and this and this. And mind you, everything's been fairly normal for me up to this point, up until her leaving. So thing number one was therapy. So I put myself in therapy. I get couples therapy for the two of us. I'm paying out the butt for it, but whatever. This is necessary. Whatever means. She's like, I'm not ready to move back in yet, but we'll see. So we have our first therapy session that following Sunday, and just to kind of collapse all this down, eventually after like a week or so, she moves back in. Things are going great. I'm cooking dinner every single night, right? She did almost nothing around the apartment, and I would complain about that because it's like, but I was like, you know what? I don't care. Cooking, cleaning, everything, laundry, everything. I'm doing everything, right? I like made up her closet for her and stuff and whatever. I'm just like, I'm trying to show her whatever it is that you need, I'm going to do. And I just start working on myself and start trying to be, the best husband that I could possibly be. And it's stuff that I should have been doing beforehand, but it's like, this is my first time. I'm a kid. Well, 3 weeks go by. Let me go back to my text to figure out the date. So, mind you, during this time too, she's like trying to get me to buy her a new car.
So far, it feels like in between the both of them, in between the two of them, he's the only one making effort to probably save the relationship. For now, I still don't know the kind of problem they have, but like from what I've seen so far, it just feels like it's a one-sided effort thing. It feels like he's the one trying to improve. He's the one trying to please her, and she's not trying to please him. So I don't know. I don't know what this is driving at, but like he's already looking one-sided to me. He's looking like a one-sided effort in fluctuation or like infuse. But let's see.
And like a gaming PC, and we're coming to all the. I mean, it's amazing. It seemed like the most perfect marriage. Well, Sunday, October 12th rolls around, and things have been going great. We have our therapy session, and the therapist is like, guys, I think we made a breakthrough, and we're laughing, giggling, whatever. Well, therapy session ends. She looks at me, hey, I'm dropping out of nursing school. When did you make that decision? She's like, last week. I was like, okay, all right. I support you. That's a big decision. That gives us more time to spend together. I guess work through these things. Breakdown, anxiety, full on, just freaking out. My jump to is, hey, let's pray. She doesn't want to. She goes, jumps in the shower. She's free. I can't do this. I thought I could. Whatever. And I'm like, hey, let's get in the car, because car rides always calmed her down. Let's get in the car and ride around. In the car, I've been lying to you. I've been doing X, Y. And I go, have you been cheating? And she looks at me, yeah. With who? It's her boss. So yeah. So she says that. And
First of all, that's a lot to unpack. But the fact that she made a decision to stay over at an aunt's place or something like that without talking to him first already is already very inconsiderate. Like how can you not talk to somebody that you regard or somebody that is your husband that you've been in a relationship with before you even got married? But like you just make a sole decision like that to stay at someone's place and just say I'm gonna stay there. It's very inconsiderate of her. I don't want to judge her yet. I want to hear the end of the story before we can, but like it's already getting saucy from this point. But let's go.
I've always been a very emotional person, but in that moment, I couldn't cry. I couldn't get angry. All I could do was drive. And in my head, I'm just praying while listening and trying to talk. And basically, she says, I find out over time that she had started emotionally cheating, which let's just call it what it is. She started cheating 2 weeks after we moved into our apartment. So mind you, this is 2 months after we get married. And that, if we do the timeline here, that's when the first freak out happened, when she came into my office. And then apparently it was just that. And then towards the time of the second freak out, before she moved out, was when they had started making plans to be physical. And then during the time between that freak out and her moving out is when they actually did have a level of physical relation. And then, mind you, this all comes out the day before I'm supposed to hop on a flight for a promotion that I just received. And she tells me that this has been going on, that it's most likely going to continue going on. And yeah, not crying about it, not upset about it. Actually, I'll just tell you guys, laughing at my crying, because eventually I do start crying, of course. She's like, look, let's go back to the apartment, which out there. And I'm like, okay. We get back to the apartment. She's like, look, I need to call him. Mind you, I'm falling apart. Look, I need to call him. I need to make sure he's okay. So she leaves for 2 hours while it's like 12 o'clock at night. I can't sleep. I can't do anything, right? I have a flight to catch the next morning. I can't do anything. I'm falling apart. Finally, she comes home. She's like, look, I don't want to talk about this. Let's just lay down. So I get like 2 hours of sleep, wake up, get on a flight, and absolutely bomb, do terrible, right? Because how could you do well? And during this week, while I'm gone, all I'm thinking of is, okay, how am I going to fix this? How am I going to fix this? I don't know how I'm going to fix it. How do you forgive? Well, I'm going to do it. I'm going to figure it out. And wow, God is good, because though I didn't fix it, he kept me functioning better than I would have without him. And yeah, so then I get back. She ends up actually picking me up from the airport that Thursday night. We hang out. She drives me back to the apartment, goes and stays at her mom's. Friday morning, wake up, we go on a date. It's great. We're having a good time. It's a little weird, but we're having a good time. Well, eventually, we go back to the apartment. She falls asleep. I go through her phone, and it is her and him dogging on me, talking about how she's going to stay on my good side so she can get things from me, and all sorts of terrible stuff. And so I'm like, hey, wake up. Let's go. And she's like, oh, my God.
Oh no, 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 no. She's a very terrible person. You're not only seeing somebody, you're trying to get things from him. He's only 22, for God's sake. What has he achieved that you want to collect from him? You want to siphon him, you want to exploit him. She's a very, very terrible person. I don't like to like point fingers at people, and say you're worse because no, but like in this situation, she's done a very, very terrible thing at or to this guy, and the way she's handled everything, it's almost looking as he's playing the victim game. Like she's the one that has been wrong, but he's the one that has been wrong. He's been the bigger person. He's been a good guy. Apparently he looks like a very good person. He's a Christian as well, a genuine Christian for that matter. So it's clearly seen from the way he's talking, and you can tell he's a very good person. But she's the opposite of who he is. She's not even making any effort at all. But like he's like doing everything possible to save the marriage, and then she's doing everything possible to destroy it.
Did you go through my phone? I'm like, yeah, I did. And then
No, that can be.
part two. I didn't think it was gonna
Ah,
be this long.
ah.
So, so she goes and starts freaking out, and she's like, "Take me home, take me home." I'm like, "Okay, cool." Now we are driving home, and she's telling me, I really thought there was a chance. I really thought that you would change, but you going through my phone just shows me you're the same person. I just took you on a date, spent a bunch of money, like had what I thought was a great day, and the whole time you're sneaking off to the bathroom to text your boyfriend about how you have to stay on my good side, hoping that he's not upset with you for it. So then I turn on her Snap Maps because I'm crazy. I turn on her Snap Maps, and sure enough, that night she ends up at his house. Saturday morning, wake up, go home, pack up all of her stuff nicely, not throwing stuff, right? I just put whatever clothes and stuff into bags and put the other stuff in whatever. Load up in the back of the truck, text her, hey, what time do you get off work? Or what time are you going to be at your mom? She tells me, like, okay, I pull up, got all of her stuff in the truck, and she's like, can we go get food? I'm like, you know what? Let me see how much information I can fish out here. So she knows at this point, she's found out that her Snap House is on. So I'm like, where were you last night? She's like, a friend called me. I was upset at you, and so, they called me and I went over. I was like, was it his house? She's like, yeah. I'm like, did you sleep with him? Yeah. Gotcha. So then, full transparency, we're riding around, and she's just like, let's just drive. Let's just go somewhere. Let's just wake up and see the sunset somewhere. And I'm not going to overshare, but I'm an idiot. I'm an idiot. I'm so stupid. I'm so dumb. And I'm not even going to listen, what your mind is thinking, that happens. What a moron. What a buffoon, right? So either way, I end up spending the night. I end up spending the night. And then Sunday, I wake up and I go to church because I'm like, God, I need you so, which I go to church anyways, right? But I'm like, God. And so I go to church and I walk in early and I sit there and I just cry in the pew. And then I get out of church and to a text from her, hey, she texted me somewhere along the lines of, or I can't remember if it's text or call, but she's like, hey, like, come back over and I don't like how you left. I'm like, okay. So I went over and I get over there and she just wants to lay down. We lay down. And, what an idiot. Either way. So she's like, hey, I got to go to my friend's house. So you got to go. This is several hours later. Well, she goes to her friend's house and then she goes back to his house. In the same day. Oh, gosh. So yeah. So I'm like, hey, I schedule us tests because I just, sorry. So I schedule us test. Thank God, everything's fine. Everything's clean. Everything's clear. Thank God. Well, then the next, 2 or so weeks go by, and she's talking about, hey, I'm moving. I'm going to do all these things, and, I want us to be friends. I want us to stay in contact with each other. And I'm still in the mindset of, I'm going to make this work. Well, along the way, I end up finding out a lot more. And I didn't believe it at first until I start receiving proof. And I'm like, oh, okay. So it takes a lot. It takes a lot of hits. And mind you, we hang out 1 or 2 times after that. And so eventually she says hey, I'm not, I'm moving and stuff and whatever. And I'm like, okay. And so in my mind, I'm not signing the papers. I'm not signing the papers. You're crazy. Sorry, I made a covenant vow with God. I don't care if you're stupid and went and did something stupid. No, we're going to figure this out. Eventually you take so many hits that you start to realize maybe God's giving you the pass. Maybe God's letting me get out of this. And that's exactly what happened. She continuously chose other people throughout these 2 weeks or so. I don't know what happened with him because they broke up. And then there was 2 or 3. I don't know. Either way. So eventually it finally clicks in my head. I'm like, oh, you got to shut it off, bro. Straight Vampire Diaries, just turn it off. So I did. So I guess it's 2 weeks later, she texts or she calls me. She's like, hey, when are we seeing each other? And I'm like, for what? She's like, just, I guess just to sign the papers. I said, you don't need me for that. You can get your stuff signed and then have me served or whatever. I'll sign mine and be done. Mind you, this is radically different than the last thing she heard from me, which is I'm not signing anything. So then I get a text Monday, hey, do you want to see me before I leave? I'll respond. Wednesday we meet to sign papers. I'm not going to explain how that ended up happening. I didn't know she was going to be there. By the way, papers get signed and give, whatever. And she's like, can I get a hug? I was like, look, I don't. And she's like, please. So, okay, give her a hug. And then, yeah. There's so much that's not in this because, and if somehow any party that's not, I don't want to say on my side, but on my side with this, I am doing the opposite of dogging. There's so much more. And if there's any accusation of, oh, he's lying, I hate to break it to everyone, but I'm not a buffoon. Alabama's a one-party state, and it was in my own home and vehicle. I've got everything. I have everything right here. So the legitimacy behind what I've said right here. I undershared a lot. because I hope, and the last thing that I said to her, I prayed over her. The last thing that we did is we had a conversation. I said, I am not mad. I do not hate you. I hope you have a wonderful life. I hope you find a man someday that you can love the way that you should. I prayed for her, wished her the best. Said I can't be in contact with you again. I can never talk to you again. This has to be the end of it. Now it's turned into a thing where she's dogging me to an extent. I don't want to say dogging me, but it's like it just doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Just a little bit of stupid stuff though, and gotta move on. I gotta let go. I'm so separated. But the plan is, now that I've said all of this, I can now do what I really wanted to do this whole time, which is make the Christian content, but also make the Christian content that speaks directly through.
I honestly don't know how to react to this because how terrible do you have to be to do something bad to somebody? And this person is almost like she's older than him, and it's almost like she's trying to take advantage of the fact that he's a young 22-year-old husband, quote and unquote, and he's not matured enough to handle situations like this properly, or or the best way it should be handled. But like, I don't want to say he's stupid. He's not stupid. He's a good guy, good kid, trying to fix what has spoiled. He's trying to be the bigger person. He's trying to be selfless enough to hear and not judge. But of course, it's a very debatable opinion where some people will agree, some people will immediately disagree and say, "Don't talk, just end everything." But like he was at first willing to talk, he was willing to fix things. He refused to sign the divorce papers and all of that. But like, I don't think she was taking any step forward or any steps towards the direction of fixing things with him. It can also be because of he's just young, like he can shared so many things. Feels like the story is not complete, but so far so good. If we have to judge the characters in this story, he he's he's the bigger person. He's the one that doesn't deserve what has happened. And she on the other hand, she's just, I have no words. I have no description for her. But like in a situation like this, you can at least be nice. Asking for the hug in the end is like the consolidation hug and say sorry that I put you through things like this. She ought to be nice at some point, but she was not nice. Felt like she was intentionally trying to hurt this guy, and the boy was just intentionally trying to do the opposite, but like it didn't end well for him. But like, that's about it. So tell me what you guys think. Or what would you do in a situation like this? Who do you think is on the right? Who do you think is wrong in this situation? I mean, anybody is entitled to their opinion, but I said mine. Please subscribe if you watch this with me. Subscribe, like, tell me what you think in the comment section. And if you want to see more things like this, please if you want to see more stories like this, please don't fail to let me know. There's so many stories like this I can actually react to on live or offline. Just talk about it. Subscribe. Where are my guys then? I know. I hit my chat for a while and nobody said anything. I just didn't want to have it on the screen, guys. It's not like I don't see you guys. Please. How's everyone? Hmm. Why is my chat not answering me? So it's such a big struggle when you're stealing from the phone. Yeah, here's my chat. Like, what's up? Yo, what's going on? How you guys prepare for Christmas? Merry Christmas, everybody. Merry Christmas to my people there. Wherever you're celebrating from, I wish you and your family best of luck. And I hope it's been a good year or an eventful year for you. I hope you've learned your lessons. If it's been a very difficult year, but in general, the most important thing always is to always be very grateful that we are alive. Only people that are alive are able to celebrate Christmas. If you're not alive, you can't celebrate Christmas. But like in any case, that's been that. It's been a very difficult year actually. A lot of things has happened from okay, let me talk from Nigeria to the continuation of the war in Ukraine and Russia to Trump, the Epstein files, the situation between the Nigerian president, kidnappings and all of that. Like it's just been a very crazy year, you know. Personally for me as well, it's just been a very crazy year in my football career, leaving my team, focusing on my YouTube, doing long form content, struggling with long form content, losing over 3,000 subscribers and a few other things that happened as well. Started streaming on Twitch and YouTube and on TV. But like there has been ups, there has been downs, but in general, we gotta be grateful for the good times and the good things. We just gotta focus on the good things and not on the things that make us feel bad about being alive. You just have to focus on the things that make you feel good about being here as a human being. So like as much as it might be difficult for you to see the things that you ought to be grateful for, you need to start being very grateful for these very, very simple things that is right in front of you, like the opportunity to have a phone, internet, the opportunity to have lights, the opportunity to have water, the opportunity to have a phone charger, the opportunity to be able to charge your phone in electricity, the opportunity to be able to feel safe. Not everybody is able to have those privileges. You might see them as nothing, but that's a very new high for so many people. So when you get the opportunity to have these privileges, you should be very, very grateful and you should not take it for granted because in taking it for granted, we show ungratefulness and we show lack of appreciation because there are much more worse situations or much more ways things could have gotten worse. And people, there's this saying that your your lowest point is someone's highest point. So you should always remember that in trying to overlook the simple and basic things that make your life good. Always remember that your lowest point is somebody's greatest point. So, where I am today, I may consider my things and say I don't have really a lot of good things that have happened in my life, but I'm going to tell you for a fact that there are so many good things that has happened. Being alive is the biggest thing that has happened so far. Being healthy is the second biggest thing that has happened. Having freedom, being able to go outside where the weather is cold, like the weather today is like minus 11, minus 8, but the real feel is like minus 13, 14. But like, I know people that have the weather hot where they are now, but it doesn't mean there are no good things here. The weather is worse, but yo, I'm very grateful. There's only somebody that is alive that feels the harshness of the weather or the goodness of the weather. So like you just have to look at things from a very optimistic point of view because if you don't, you're going to fall into a very deep hole of depression. And before you come back out, you would need an external help or a helping hand from people that probably didn't understand the situation from the onset. But like in the beginning, to avoid things like that, you need to understand that gratitude is the first thing you need to do every single day that you wake up. Pray to your God and thank Him for blessing you with the gift of life. Because if you don't have the gift of life, you can't have the gift of strength or wisdom, knowledge, and understanding to do every other thing that you would most likely dream of. You have the gift of life, you will not have the energy to chase your dreams. You will not have the dreams to chase. You will not have the patterns to chase. You will not have a direction. So once you get the opportunity, do not take it for granted, my friends. Nice motivation for life. It's just been, it's fact upon fact. I'm not even gonna lie to you. You know, so many people, so many things happened this year. So many people have been alive. So many kidnappings have happened in Nigeria this year, but we are still here. People are still here. You know, like one of the worst things that happened in recent times is the fact that some people just come on social media and just say a bunch of nonsense because some of the things that are happening in this period does not affect them directly. It's easy to be a keyboard lord and just type your opinion because something does not affect you directly. Something affects you directly, you'll be able to testify, you know. So many families cry this way because, like, for example, the insecurity in Nigeria has gotten so worse that kidnappers don't kidnap rich people anymore. They kidnap people that are poor, people that are not able to provide for themselves, people that can't even send their kids to school. They kidnap people and then make the public contribute money or donate money for their ransom to be able to bring them back home. Oh. Unfortunately, not everybody makes it back. The kidnappers get annoyed, you get pissed off because the money most of the times is not raised, you know, the expectations are not met. And who pays for this? Who pays who pays the consequences? Who gets the consequences? It's the people that are kidnapped, their families, you know. And if you go to somebody like that and tell this person about, like, you ask somebody like that who is kidnapped, what do you want? They will tell you freedom, you know, because freedom is the first thing you get after having health. Are we going to talk about the people that are very sick? They have fallen sick so many times this year. The people that have, are alive. Merry Christmas, Merry Christmas, Merry Christmas. So, like, we should always be very grateful. If you want to know how life is, if you want to know how important it is to be alive, you should go to the hospital. Once you get to the hospital, you will understand how important it is and how grateful you should be because you have the opportunity to walk. You have the opportunity to stroll, you have the opportunity to go out with your friends and family, loved ones, chill, eat, come back home, go to the cinema, do all sorts of normal things, you know. If you don't know how it feels to be very grateful and celebrate Christmas because you have the opportunity to go to the prisons and see how people value their freedom, go to the hospital, go to orphanages, you understand people that don't have families, you know. If you step your foot into these places, you will understand why it's important to appreciate the little things that you have. If you have an opportunity, if it's raining, go to the rain, drop in the rain, dance, be happy. Some people can't get rain. People that live in the desert struggle and pray for rain, but it doesn't come. As cold as it is, some people still pray for winter because it's too hot for them. They don't want to be able to experience this. I don't have a vape. No, it's a pen. It's a pen. Look, it's a pen, not a vape. So like y'all be grateful, man. Very, very grateful. It's important. There's the reason why people that are grateful are the happiest people in the world. Gratitude first. Once you're grateful, everything becomes better. You hustle, you work from a point of being appreciative. And it feels like once you appreciate little things, the universe aligns. You know, the universe kind of brings things to your way because they know you are grateful for where you are, you're grateful for what you got, you're grateful for the things that you have access to, you're grateful for your privileges. But if every day you complain, and focus on the things that are not working out, the universe kind of sends you more things that are not going to work out. But it is what it is, you know, and the earlier we understand this, the better. If you've lived the whole of 2025 not being grateful for anything, change that in 2026. That you will be very, very grateful for the simple little things, you know. As simple as it is to have a pen, it's a big deal, really. When I was in high school, I didn't have opportunity to have a pen. But like once you get the opportunity, to have access to the simple things that you would need to that makes your life easy and simple. Be very grateful for it. There's a reason why, honestly. There is a reason why the simple things that you overlook and say these are the normal things make you sad when you are not grateful for them. Yeah. I watch football. I'm a football player. I don't just watch football. I'm a football player, man. I'm very grateful for football. I don't have a team right now, but I'm very grateful that I've been able to play football in so many places this year. I'm very grateful that I've been a football player. I'm very grateful that I have the opportunity to have trained, met so many people. Yo, JB, Merry Christmas. Long time no see. Yeah, bro, where have you been? It's been forever. You disappeared, brother. You disappeared. How are you? What's going on, guys? What's your favorite team? What team do you like? What team do you support in in the world and in Europe? Tell me, what team do you support? Oh wow. Ah, you got some work, JB. Ah, it's okay. It's okay. How's it going? How's it been with work? Hope you've been able to take some days off for the holidays and rest. Because all work no play makes JB a dull boy. You have to work. We have to work. You get. Everybody has to work. It's important. It's needed. I understand you all need money, but like, come on now, you need to rest as well. It's that time of the year that everybody needs to rest. Christmas is tomorrow. Christmas is less than 24 hours away, brothers. Be happy. Merry Christmas. Enjoy your time with your family. Eat rice. I'm Nigerian. We will celebrate this with eat rice. Eat very strong rice, my friends. It's important. It's the reason for that. I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. I'm here chilling, talking to you. On top of everything that has happened, I'm just talking about gratitude, that we all should be grateful for what happens in life. A lot of us have been very ungrateful this year. So it's important to be thankful for the little things and the simple things that you feel that they are too big or they are too little for you to be thankful for real. You know, that's just what it is. So sad that my battery is like 15%. I tell you, I connected a power bank, but apparently it feels like the power bank is not working. And this is very high, right? My tripod is very high from where my phone is connected and where my I can connect my tether. So the new way is to use a power bank. By the way, guys, you guys know how to connect this. I got a mic JB. I've been trying to connect it to my phone, but it's not working. Like, look, I got this mic. Can you get it? Yeah, I got this mic. I fixed it, but like it just keeps. I've tried to. I'm trying to get an adapter now to be able to see if it will work. If I connect it to a laptop, it comes on. Let me see. Let me connect it so you guys will see how it looks when it comes on. But apart from it doesn't work. That's the annoying part. Look, it's on. You can also change the light. It has some very cool features. This changing of light is very cool. But of course, I prefer it to be black. When I prefer when it's black. You know. Blue, oh, cool. But like I don't know. I've been trying to connect it, but it's not working. Is it? You guys think it will work if I connect it to my phone? If you guys know, please let me know. I want you guys to be able to hear me properly with a better audio. But like so far, so good. Done. So got this and I've not been able to use. I got it about close to $50. It's a lot of money. Imagine getting something for $50 and you not be able to use it since you got it. Almost like it's very useless. But we'll see. We'll see. We'll see. Yo guys, my battery's about to die. It's like 15%. I think I'm gonna have to end the stream and come back live again tomorrow. Or if I charge my phone today, who knows? I might come back live again if you guys will be here, but I doubt. But anyway, I'm gonna see you guys later. Thank you guys for joining my stream today. It's not so long, like 40-minute stream, so it's not very long. But I'm very grateful that you guys were able to join. You know, like JB Vekinaki. You didn't answer about your favorite team, but okay, I hope next time you'll tell me. But like, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. See you.